All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We're here, we're ready, we're live another day. I am quite tired, so this might not be the longest stream. And also, my camera has moved. Because cats have been nothing but a problem. So, okay. Now I'm center of the screen at least. That helps. As I was saying, certain people in this household have decided they're going to be nothing but a problem today. So now I have to, try and stream around that. But Boulder, who hasn't shut up for literally like 2 days straight, has now decided to lay down and go to sleep. Yeah, how nice of you. Literally screaming at me the past 2 days, and now you decide to lay down. So no one believes me when I say you're a problem. I see how it is. We'll see how long it lasts. But I'm back, I'm live. I know I've been very inconsistent the past, 2 weeks. Partly because of travel, my sleep schedule was horrible. One of my neighbors was apparently complaining about the internet so badly that, they cut off internet for, several hours to try and, diagnose what was going on and fix it. Finally got all that sorted. Also, hello, Sammy. Welcome in. How are you today? Here watching me instead of streaming? You could stream too. It's not illegal. Your sleep schedule was perfect. No, my sleep schedule has been so bad, I have slept a total of 3 hours in the past 3 nights. What was that, Scuba? I don't know what you're saying. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but she's excited. She's now out of camera frame, of course. Oh, come here. Ugh. Hello. Worse than normal? Yeah, the sleep schedule is worse than normal. Do you want to say something to the people? You want to tell them about your brother? Oh, he lost bedroom rights last night? And then you had to get kicked out too? No? Okay. Is Scuba in jail? She willingly went in. The door is open right now. The little doors rolled up. They love to just go in there and hang out. So it's their own little, cat cave that they like to hang out in. And I'm sitting on my hair. My hair's getting to the point that I can actually lean against it and get it stuck. But yeah, no, sleep schedule has been worse than normal, which also doesn't help the fact that I've had 2 job interviews for the same position. Early in the morning, my first one was a online kind of interview. I was talking about that last stream and how I literally used this camera, this microphone, this headset. I did all of this. I had the light on. I made sure these pictures weren't anime girls or anything, which they weren't, so I was able to get away with that. But I did that whole interview. It went well. And then Monday morning, I had to go in and do an actual in-person interview. And I was not ready to have to be up and actually awake. You can kind of cheese an online interview, especially because I don't work in a position that I need to worry about wearing a dress shirt and a tie and everything for interviews. Just a nice polo shirt is enough. What are you screaming about now? Okay. So all I had to do was put on a polo shirt. I was still wearing the athletic short. I literally just athletic shorts and a polo shirt. And I was sitting there at this job interview thinking, I cannot move or they're going to know I'm not actually dressed. So I was just kind of sitting very, very stationary. I was yep. And any questions for me other than stand up and point out things in my room? Because I'd really appreciate not one of those. Where do I see the displays again? There is a channel in my Discord server called Display Collection. I could very quickly, maybe. Let's see how fast I can do this. If I go to generic gameplay, is it going to be... Yeah, it is. Okay, give me 1 second. Game capture. Screen 2. All right, now we're looking at the Discord. Also, my camera's mega messed up on this scene. So we are instead just going to change it to the game scene. Nah, that's not broken anymore. Yeah, if we go in here, my picture's kind of covering the hidden channels anyway. But we got display collection. And then we got all of the ones I have. So this one's on the wall right behind me. And then this one is right here. And then I got Call of the Night, I got Chainsaw Man, McLaren, Fallout 4. And I'd like to get more. The problem with getting more is that costs money. And I don't have a job right now. And each of these is like $35, $40. So growing the collection is not going to be the cheapest thing in the world. But we will make do. All right. Let's get all this set back up, even though I'm likely going to be changed. Which one do you want to get switched? If you want Makima. And then I got the collection that isn't on the wall. Right here. This one's Fallout 4. There's McLaren. There's the Call of the Night one. And there's your favorite one. So Sammy, which one do you want to pick to switch out? Do you want to get rid of Mount Fuji, or do you want to get rid of the mountain biking at sunset? You gotta pick one. And then I'll put these ones back away. Nice. You're still not picking one though, Sammy. You gotta tell me which one I'm switching out. Get rid of the bike? Okay, I will get rid of the bike. Yeah, there you are. I'm too lazy to take these headphones off and my hair would get messed up, so we're just unplugging them and I'm gonna walk around like this. Even though I can't hear you guys. It's a whole mood. I can still talk to you. I'm kind of hidden behind the chair, but I promise I can still, be here. Yeah, we'll just pop that bad boy off. Slap that on. Does that look... I can't see it. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. We'll go with it. My delay is tragic. I understand. Sometimes Twitch is like that. All right, we got it switched over though. Now I'd like to listen to my own music again, if you guys don't mind. So we'll just plug that back in. Perfect, yep. There you go. So now if anyone else goes to change one, they have to switch this one. That's the rules. And then, like I said, once I get more, I might add another one like right here. Or I've also thought about getting one like right here. But I don't have that many, so we only have 2 up right now. But the plan is to expand the collection over time. And eventually we'll have a bunch more. I also am thinking about getting like a low dresser desk thing right here. And then I have like the wall art. There'll be a gap like right here where my head goes. And then something else over there. Then I can have various things on here. And then this can just go elsewhere. The cat stays. You can see Scuba's ears. 10 out of 10. What is it? Nothing? Okay. So yeah, I did the interview online and they said they wanted to bring me in. I went to go in for the interview and because it's at the same place I used to work at, it's just like a different building on the same campus. It was really funny because I showed up to security and I was like, yeah, I'm here for a job interview. And they're like, why don't you just go through the gate then? And I was like, because my badge doesn't work. I haven't worked here in 2 months. And they're like, oh. And I see your ID, let's get you signed in as a guest. The cat must stay. Unfortunately, she walked away, but I got another cat laying right there. I'm not going to spin the camera over because you guys will realize I took everything that's on this nightstand and just shoved it sideways just out of frame, so that you guys can't see it while I tell you about how I am absolutely prepared and nothing is a mess. Everything's put together. Sleep schedule's put together. Everything is golden. Nothing falling apart. So they're so annoyed. How dare you show up? Yeah, because like they knew I worked there because I would often have to go and like pick up other guests from like when people would come from other buildings. I'd be the one to go and get them. So they were very used to me going in and just being like, oh yeah, I'm grabbing so-and-so. They're going to be here in the next 5 minutes. And then I show up and I'm like, yep, I'm looking for this guy. He's going to give me a job interview. And they're like, okay. So I get signed in, I go, and they're like, you know which gate you have to go to get to like that specific building? I was like, yeah. You guys have like the temporary like guest parking down there? And they're like, yeah, just, you know, make sure you park at the right sign. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went down there, parked, got through the gate with my little guest badge. And then I just awkwardly stood there for like 5 minutes with no one showing up. So I'm just inside the gate. Like there's the gate here, parking lot over here, maybe about 10 feet of sidewalk, and then there's like a road inside the campus. Is it the same position or area? So it's a similar position in a different group. So I'd be doing kind of the same thing, but on different projects, if that makes sense. It's still the same kind of testing and engineering. It's just a different platform. So it's a slightly different building. I work on like the east side of the campus versus the west side now. So like it's a whole 3-minute walk to my old desk. But yeah, so like I get inside, there's this like inside the campus road that I wasn't about to stand in. So I'm just standing there like right on the corner, and it's like 9 a.m. So like all the hourly people and the union people are going on break. So they're walking past me being like, oh, you know, great day for a break outside. And I was like, yeah, cool. Have you seen the guy I'm looking for? Eventually the guy comes out and like grabs me and we go and do the rest of the interview. And then at the end of the interview, I met with the actual manager who did the primary interview rather than the secondary interview and tour. And he was like, so tell me about everything you just saw and learned. And I was like, I looked at the test cells. I can't tell you exactly which, you know, test setup was in what cell, but I learned about this one. I learned about how you have this one that's similar but not the same, and then I have this one that's like completely different. This one's kind of similar to the last one, but again, not 100% sure where any of that was. And he was like, yeah, okay. How do these test cells and everything compare to your last position? And I was like, well, these ones are a lot cleaner because the groups aren't sharing them with like 3 other groups. Other than that, it's kind of the same company and like literally a building apart. So did you expect a big difference? And he's like, okay, yeah, you know, any other questions for me? And I just asked like the very generic, you know, how soon after this interview ends will I be hearing back? Just to get a rough time frame of when I can expect a response. And he's like, yeah, we have a couple more interviews. You should hear back by the end of this week. So it's currently 7:20 p.m. on a Tuesday. I haven't heard back yet, but I should hear by Friday if I'm getting hired or if I'm going to continue to be unemployed. And honestly, I'd kind of like to stay unemployed. I enjoy this whole not having to get up and do a 9-to-5 thing. The problem is money. I need money. And the whole $5 a month I make on Twitch is not enough to support me, especially because student loans are coming back, and that's going to be a problem I got to think about. So I'm not excited for that. So I kind of need a job by like the beginning of October. End of September, beginning of October. I need to start working in there so I can get a paycheck before I have to pay my student loans, or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'm running out of time. And I don't think my savings could realistically last me that long if I needed it to. Well, okay, I could make it last, but I don't want to make it last, you know? I enjoy being able to do things. I'm not one of those people who needs work to be happy. I honestly, like, it's not that I dislike what I got my degree in and what I have done for work in the past. It's just like, it's so much more fun to do all this and kind of just hang out. I get to, you know, stay up later if I want to, you know, watch someone streaming who's in a later time zone than me, or if I just want to play a video game at night. I don't have to worry about getting up the next morning. I don't have the stress of dealing with meetings or performance reviews or worrying about raises and cutbacks and layoffs. I don't have to worry about any of that. I just play video games and make videos on it, and that's so much fun for me. So the goal is to eventually be able to do this full time. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in like the next 2 to 3 years. So this new position that I'm potentially getting hired for is a 2-year contract. So from whenever my start date is, I have 2 years to become like a super famous streamer and YouTuber. So, like Sammy's saying, fingers are crossed. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna worry too much about like trying to like milk every last penny out of every last revenue source. Especially because, like, I've said it before, like, I feel bad taking money from like my viewers' pockets, but ad revenue, I can get behind some ad revenue. I do so enjoy getting the YouTube bag and companies paying for me to be alive. This is a position where they encourage overtime, or you would be able to maintain. Yeah, some of my internships were like that. Like my second internship I worked, there was the option to do overtime just about every day. So I'd be working like 50 to 60 hours a week just so I could, you know, afford school. And then I also had a second job at a restaurant on the weekends. Because I know Callie's job, there's go-getter. Yeah, so I mean, even with my last position, there were a couple people there who were like, you couldn't convince them to take a day off, no matter how hard you tried. So they'd like, especially like towards the end of the year when it was like, I have to use up my PTO or I'm gonna lose it. So they're like, yeah, I'm gonna take off like every Friday from now until the end of the year. And they started like right around Thanksgiving. But we still had meetings Friday, and they still would show up to the meetings. Like, I mean, like, they'd be in person in the meeting. And we're like, I thought you weren't working on Fridays. And they're like, yeah, I just thought I'd come into the meeting, though. And I'm like, no. Get out of here. Go home. Goodbye. If I really need you, I will call you. You don't need to be here. Go away. But they didn't care. They're like, I'd rather come in and just make sure everything's getting done. And I'm like, don't worry about everything getting done. You're not being paid to make sure everything gets done. You're being paid to stay home right now. Do that. I milk every single day of PTO I have. I took more days off last year than PTO I had. I had days where I was unpaid, and I didn't care. I was like, yeah, I'm going on a scuba trip. I'm leaving this date. I'm going to be gone until the next calendar year. I only have 4 days of PTO, but I'm going to be gone most of December. Adios. Goodbye. So I ended up having like 2 or 3 days of unpaid time off, and I didn't care. I had far more fun in the Bahamas than I would have had sitting at my desk doing jack shit because it was the end of the year and everyone else was off. So I don't know, maybe that's just me. And it was well established ahead of time because I was a contract employee, I don't earn the same amount of PTO and everything else as everyone else that wasn't contracted. But when I told my, supervisor ahead of time, I was like, hey, I have this trip planned. I don't have enough PTO to cover it. Is that fine? Or do you want me to start working overtime to offset the PTO I'm going to need? And I would do that for stuff like Thanksgiving break, or not break, but like the Thanksgiving week, because I wanted to be able to leave early. So I worked late Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I did a half day and went home for Thanksgiving, stuff like that. Which they were pretty good about like flex time, and whenever you hit your 40, you can be done. So it wasn't a big deal for me to like work 9-hour days and then leave after lunch on Friday if I wanted to. Obviously, depending on the work that was available, I'd have to worry about that, but wasn't a big deal. This new position that I could potentially be getting, they said they're very flexible about when you show up. So kind of like how I know Callie has talked about in the past, like she's not the most proactive at showing up super early. She tends to wander in later. And I was like, I always asked, I'm like, is there like a preferred start time that you'd want me to show up? Because I know this is still technically a full-time position. And the guy who was giving me the little tour, who was like, he's like the senior engineer on the project. He was like, oh, I wander in at 9:30 sometimes. It's not a big deal. Literally, you can show up anywhere between like 6 and 9. No one's going to question you. As long as you do 8 hours of actual work, they're not going to care if you show up a bit later or if you take a longer lunch. As long as you're getting all your stuff done and you're actually working 8 hours and not just like showing up at 9, hanging around for an hour, taking an hour lunch, and then leaving by 2. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. Because like, I am not a morning person. I don't know if that's been established yet by my absolute lack of a sleep schedule, but I am not a morning person. I cannot force myself to get up early. So showing up at like 7, 8 a.m., 7:30 doesn't happen easily for me. But I can pretty consistently show up, especially like my last position. I was showing up between like 8:15 and 8:30. And then every now and then I'd have to make sure I was actually in the building by 8 because there'd be a meeting at 8. But no one cared. So I just kept doing that. I was rolling out of bed at like 8 a.m., getting to work no later than about 8:20. Maybe if traffic was bad or if I like wasn't that proactive at actually getting out of bed, I'd get there closer to 8:30, but no one minded. So I was like, absolutely. And I was still getting there earlier than some people. So I wasn't too concerned. And now I got this new position where it seems like it's kind of, well, okay, I don't have the position yet, but it seems like it's potentially going to be the same kind of thing. So I'll probably continue doing my 8:15 to 8:30. That way I can get out of work early enough that I can get home and unwind for an hour and a half, closer to 2 hours actually, and be able to get myself ready for stream by 7, which is part of the reason I stream at 7, because originally I was going to stream at 6. But if I'm leaving work at between 4 and 4:30, it's about 20 minutes for me to get home. It's almost 5 o'clock by the time I get home. So that doesn't give me a long time to be able to like change, eat, go to the bathroom, sit down, and forget the fact that I hate working a 9 to 5, and then be ready to stream. So giving myself that extra hour kind of helps. So I think I should be able to maintain the same schedule of Tuesdays, Thursdays, most Saturdays for streaming with the new position, assuming I get it. So that shouldn't be a big deal. How tired I'm going to be those first couple weeks is up in the air. We might be using some not sponsored Go Juice. But it's probably going to be fine. It's probably going to be fine. Thank you for being helpful, Sammy. Now, have I rambled long enough that we can start playing the game? I don't think I've ever done a just chatting section that's hit half an hour before. Shreepy. That is me right now. I literally slept from about 11:30 till 1 p.m. today. And that was it. Ugh. Okay, we're booting the game up. Hopefully nothing breaks. Week just chatting times. Sammy, I'm not one to sit around on the just chatting screen, especially because I tend not to have the most like active chat, especially towards the beginning of my stream. So I can only ramble to myself so long. But if I get to, talk to someone else, I can do it for hours. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be broken again. Give me 1 second. So I can flip to the scene. The problem is it's on a screen capture, which means if other people start playing Steam games or stuff, that's gonna pop up. And I try to be nice and not show that to people. So give me 1 second. We just gotta flip it back to the game. It should, there we go. See, it auto found it right away. And then I just gotta get stuff like chat, make sure I can see activity feed, know when to tell you when ads are gonna play. See, got all that stuff up. Now let me verify. You guys can hear the waves right now, which is good. As can I. All right, I say we're ready to dive in. 13 and a half hours in. You think I'm getting anywhere close? Shelby always shows up, but it gets covered. Yeah. Like, originally, I tried keeping myself in a spot that I could cover it, and then I was like, why not just use a game capture? It's just as easy to set up. And then if the game ever crashes or I tab out of the game and it, like, tries to minimize, I'm not showing off my desktop. Which right now is the lower half of an anime girl. Which, you know, not the best look. But it's probably fine. Okay, I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing, though. Like, genuinely no idea. I got, like, no objectives to go look at. I got no radio call. I'm honestly just out here vibing at this point. I also got the big sub, which I haven't named or colored or anything. Oh, it was broken for a second. It was real broken. But yeah, Sammy, I tend to see Ryan pop up as a Steam notification. I can tell you what games he plays a lot. There's a lot of Balloons TD5. Which I don't think he'd be too mad at me for saying, but... yeah, I'm not 100% sure what my goal is on this game at this point. We're gonna name this Long PP. And then what color do we want to make it? Place looks so much bigger than. Thank you. I've been hard at work trying to make it a little cozy. Long PP is. It is long. Do you not see all this walkway here? Do you not see all of this? Orange long PP? Okay. Are we talking like a bright orange or a darker orange? Like this color kind of orange? Or do you want it to be like construction cone orange? What are we thinking? Like a neon orange? Let's see how well I can get that kind of color. Maybe a bit like that. For the stripe, do we go some blue stripes? Name. That's about as black will get. Okay. Let's go see what this looks like. All right, what are we thinking? Is that obnoxious enough? Or should I try and get this color to match the pink of my little guy? Good old little Pepto. Let's try that. So, what do you think? Is that going to be stripe 1 or 2? It's find out. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Hang on, we gotta get out. We gotta get out Pepto.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Because you see, Pepto's got orange and pink. So we just inverted the colors.
Welcome aboard. All systems online.
I don't know, we'll put it right about there. Too far back. Can't get the full experience. No. Go down, please. Okay. Oh, it's looking so great. Hang on, let me get my light handy. Oh, how glorious. Sunblade, how are you? Welcome in. We're just admiring Long PP and Pepto. I need to figure out where it says the name, though. That is the important information for me to figure out right now. You mostly lurking. Wanted to at least say hi. Absolutely, I understand. I just want to find out where it says the name. It's got to have the name printed on it somewhere. But where? There it is. It's having a bit of issues because we're like right on the surface. Long PP. Pepto. And you know what about, you want to know the best part about this? I can just come up right here. And now Pepto is in Long PP. 10 out of 10. We can go explore somewhere. External floodlights. So if I pilot this up, now I gotta be careful.
Engine powering up.
Like, I gotta be real careful not to hit my own building here. Alright, let's get back to some deeper water. At a certain point, I should be able to descend, I assume. But I want to make sure I'm in relatively shallow water. Relatively deep water, I should be saying. But I don't... I can see I'm at 2 meters. I can go up to 500. My power level is 99. I can honk the horn, but I don't. Okay, that should be deep enough for now. Okay. So now if I head out here, I keep forgetting I actually have to click to climb down the ladder. There we go. Look at Long PP. With Pepto inside it. And then there's my home. Okay, let's go get Pepto. Do do do. Do 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 do.
All systems online.
It'd be nice if it was daytime. You know? Because right now it's kind of inconvenient that it is not. It'd be nice to be able to go and get some photos. So if I just kind of leave that here though, and then get out this light. Oh, it looks so nice. We got a long PP and Pepto. Lighten up the night sky. And by sky, I mean the ocean. Now give me these guys. I want this rock to sink. No making rocks float around me. And that guy's about to attack. Nope. You don't get to do it. Okay, it's becoming daytime. Let's get the lights off. And I don't know why that stayed open. It looks sloppy. We'll get it fixed up, I promise. Okay. Internal lighting off. Floodlights. Alright, let's leave the inside lights on for now. I know it's gonna use power, but you know, it's a photo op. Look at that. Now let's move Pepto around a little bit just to get him in a bit better position. Right about there ought to be good. Wait, it doesn't say Pepto on this side? Where? Why don't you have your name on you? Your name was on the side. Okay, well if the name's not gonna be on that side, we're just gonna swing around. Oh, I bumped it a little bit. Bro, what do you think you're doing? Get out of here. Okay. So if I park it maybe like this, is that gonna be? It needs to move backwards just a little bit. It's lining up with the stripe a bit too well. Okay. Maybe about there ought to be better. Bit too far backwards. We'll get this figured out eventually. I promise this is prime content. And it also appears that there's an eclipse going on. Yes, indeed there is. Well, I just missed the eclipse. But there we go. We got a long PP and Pepto. Now comes the next question. There we go. F11. Which should be... I had to guess which button's going to be F11 on this keyboard. Look at that. Let's reposition just a bit. And we'll grab another one, just to be safe. Look at that. We got a long PP and Pepto. Now, if only I had somewhere to go with them. Because I honestly don't. I'm gonna use this to get home. I'm gonna leave long PP over there. Just because this shallow water is a bit of a hassle. Though I guess I could get it positioned like right here. So maybe I do that. Give me a second, everyone. Whoa, come on. Why are you not connecting in? There it goes.
Captain, systems online.
All right. Pilot. Engine is powered up. We should be good to just go forward, swing around. Yeah, that'll be good. Power down.
Powering down.
Disconnect. I can look here. Health looks pretty much full. Switch the lights off just to save power. Alright, I'll be on my way. Actually, wait. If I'm gonna be on my way, I should be on my way via this bad boy.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oh, that's left
All
open
systems
again.
online.
Oh well. I say it worked out. Not for that fish, but the rest of it's kind of worked out. Like, we got a long pee-pee just sitting over there. Ready for it to get real funky because it's got to spin me.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, Pepto. For some reason, it doesn't say it on the thing anymore. It used to. It did. I don't know why it doesn't. But you can see it's named Pepto. Pepto, docked, fully charged. I don't know, there's some shenanigans afoot. This is bothering me. I can't see my own inventory. There we go. Nope, now it's crooked. It's bothering me more. There we are. That should work. Okay. Now, what fancy things can I build? For no reason other than I don't know what else I'm supposed to be working on right now. I could do water filtration. How big is this thing? Oh, it's quite large. It is big. So if I just walk out into here, I assume it needs to go on like a wall, but I don't really have a good wall I can use right now. Like, I could put it right there, or right there. Do I want to get rid of the vending machine? I think I might do that. We can always rebuild the vending machine. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Is my inventory full? Is that what's going on here? Ah, yep. We'll munch on all that. And then we'll do some slicey slice. There we are. And we will deconstruct you. And we're just gonna move it into here. I'll have a nice little plant for in here, I guess. Basic, composite, or chic. We're gonna go chic. And we'll build it right there. Then we'll put another one right here. Perfect. And plant. And plant. And we'll just eat these so we don't waste them. Okay. Now, I saw I need aerogel in order to do the water filter. So I need to figure out how to make aerogel. But first I want to pin the water filter thing, blueprint. Okay, titanium, copper wire, and aerogel. How do I make aerogel, you ask? I don't know. A gel sack and ruby. I might actually have that. It might be copper that I don't have any of. Yeah, it's copper. No gel sack. No gel sack. No gel sack. That's a gel sack. Okay. And a ruby. So now I can make an aerogel. Alright, got that. I apparently don't have much titanium. Yeah, there's 3 titanium. So now I'm going to get this started with the stuff I have. Obviously, I still need more, but... yeah. Oh, it didn't even use the aerogel, because I need to get the copper first. Okay, well. Now I need to go find copper. Basically Christopher Columbus, I guess. How easy do you think it's going to be to find? That wasn't copper. I feel like I come along this wall face every single time I need to go looking for supplies. There was a copper. That's titanium. Oh, not you. Not you. Can I fly through here and lure you out? Still coming. There we are. We dodged. We dodged. We survived. Lots of eggs around here. That's good to remember. Look at that. There's another one there. Sulfur. Oh, we got another one. We got another one. Skedaddle. And I can see there's another one right there. But I don't see the materials I'm looking for. Pick that up. Oh, something. Scan something.
30 seconds.
Scan something. I'll have to worry about scanning something after I get air. Breathe. Descend. Was it you? It was you. Come here and let me scan you, son. Yoink. There's a bait and switch. I kidnapped him. That's all I wanted from the beginning anyway. What's in this hole? Not what I'm looking for, that's for sure. Okay, I need to trigger this guy and then... Okay, he's coming. We run. He exploded. Beautiful. I'm literally just collecting all the basic materials at this point. Is that another one? No, come on out, buddy. Okay, go. We're clear. There's the surface. I could have ran this way. Oh, there's one right there too. Of course there is. Oh, there's one there. I don't like this area. I have decided to bail on this area. We'll instead pick that up. That, I don't know, going here? Nothing. What do we got down in here? Nothing. Okay. Well, we got some stuff. Bit more right there. See this? We'll grab you. Yeah, I literally just want to swing by this to force that to close. There we go. It just looked bad, you know? Can't be having it look sloppy. What would my guests think? Joke's on me, I don't have guests, but, you know. Sabretooth. Yes. Yes. Oh. Anything in here I could, yeah, we're just gonna munch on him. Pick that up. Alright, we'll head back.
30 seconds.
We'll have to hit the surface on our way back, but we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. We are surviving. We have managed to collect copper. I feel like I should light this area up a bit. You know, get some lights out. Maybe we'll focus on that next. I don't have copper wire though, because I'm an idiot. Hang on. Hang on. I realized my whoopsies. Boom. Got all of it. Got all of it. We're good to go.
Seek fluid intake.
Chief, I am on top of it. Now, how do I use this? Use filtration machine. Do I need bottles or something? Well. Good thing over here I got water. There we are.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay. So now do I have to make bottles or something? You know, I kind of just ran into this blindly. I think that's going to be one of my next upgrades as well. Unpin. Unpin all. Because right now I have the high capacity. But I can now do the ultra high capacity. I am confused because I don't have a water bottle. How am I supposed to water bottle? I'm also gonna need to get more solar panels. Or is it just gonna do its own thing and I'll eventually just have water there? But yeah, I see that I'm slowly bleeding electricity at this point, so we're gonna need to oh. Do I have enough for another one? Yes, I do. Okay. Because that should up the amount of power it can store as well. From 150 to 300. Which obviously it's nighttime right now, which isn't going to help.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
But yeah, we are tapping power real fast. Like very fast. We're down to 50. And it's still the middle of the night. So might need to just go ahead and take a nap. Because naps are fabulous. Let's check this out. Ready? Don't worry, James. We don't need to turn off the hot tub. Because our power's full now, because I slept. That's how this game works. Also, James, how are you today? That's still going. Nothing in here. Still yet to figure this out. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But I made it. It's doing something. You're doing good, glad to hear. Are you enjoying work? I never got a chance to run over to your building when I was there the other day, yesterday. Salt's at 100. Oh, look at that. It made salt. Now, presumably, it will manage to make water eventually. Mel, how are you? Welcome in, Raiders. I am in the process of trying to get myself water. Give me 1 second. You know, part of not dying means I actually got to stay hydrated in the game too, which is unfortunate. But how are you? How was your stream? Oh, Subnautica? I'll be honest, I'm lost. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I have no current objectives, so I am just kind of building whatever and seeing what happens. My assumption is eventually I'm gonna get like a call on the radio or something. All right, I got water, so I'm not about to die. Power's dropping again. I don't think we're able to produce enough to power this thing efficiently. But yeah, if we look at my objectives and like locations, I've been to all of this. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. I am lost. I'm not sure. But we got my little SeaMoth here. Its name is Pepto, if you can't tell by its color. And then I'll take you over to the
All systems online.
the long peepee, the big submarine. They have inversed color schemes. So we got pink with little orange details there, while we got orange with pink details. And then I got my whole little base that I was just at, which I can show you guys from the outside here. So right here, what we're looking at, this is a bedroom. You can kind of see there's a bed right there. I can take you inside here shortly. This is like the plant room. There's the hallways right here are all storage, and then this is where I dock up this bad boy. Fish, could you stop getting in my way? No respect for who's got the right of way.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, you can see its name is Pepto. It's charging up now. Here's the storage. These are chargers for batteries if I need. This right here is the equivalent of your crafting table in Minecraft. I'm waiting for this thing to tell me what to do next. It's currently not, so I don't know what's going on. This just makes med kits, which I don't really need right now. And then here's the bedroom I was showing you from outside. I got a bed. I got a decorative desk, nice little wall. Same thing over here. I got the dresser that you can't even open. I got some plants that give me food. So if I want to have some snacks, I can. And if we come in here, it's where the majority of my food is being grown. And I got a little aquarium just for the aesthetics. And I just made this, which is supposedly filtering water. But it's taking up so much power that it's kind of a problem. So sorry. Staying busy with work, but having fun with prepping for new projects. The cafeteria had a deep fried tortilla wrapped hot dog today. That was pretty tasty. I almost forgot you were going there yesterday. How do you think it went? Yeah, I thought the interview went well. I was told there was like a couple more people that are being interviewed as well, and that I should hear back by the end of the week. So I don't have a job yet, but I'd like to think I did well enough to be able to do the online Teams interview and then the in-person interview, and not be told we're not hiring you as of yet. So that's a promising sign, I think. It's probably okay. Like I said, I'll find out by the end of the week. So for now, I'm just being hopeful that maybe I'll have a job in like 2 weeks' time. Get out of my unemployed era. That's the thing. I kind of am enjoying the unemployed era, Mel. Like, it's not that bad, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I kind of need the money, and like, I can only live off my savings and unemployment for so long. But like, realistically, if I had another like $10,000 to $20,000 and I didn't have to worry about student loan payments coming back in October, I could try to milk this for like over a year. But instead, we're gonna have to get a new job and, you know, get back to work. Have some real income. I don't make enough on Twitch alone to be able to survive, and YouTube's not monetized yet, so kind of out of luck on the not needing a job at this point. Maybe one day. My other option is learn how to live on $5 a month. Then I could do it. But I don't know. I don't know about you guys. But I personally cannot live on only $10 a month. Because my internet costs more than that. Not to mention the electricity to turn on my PC. And then the internet to stream. If I was just looking at those, I still need like $110 a month. Plus like rent. Realistically, like a base minimum amount I need to spend to keep myself alive and have somewhere to live and like internet and everything is like $1,900 a month. That's very like that's a very low respectable number. I am nowhere near that. I need a job for that reason. I feel that I've been out of a job since last May, and if it weren't for money, I'd be thriving doing all this content work. Exactly. Like, I have unemployment, and it's able to pay for like my rent and like my bills, but like food and like groceries, or if I want to, you know, get a new game for stream or anything like that, that's coming out of my like savings, which I did not have a lot of savings because I only worked for a year. That wasn't enough time to, hey, it's doing a thing. It made water, everyone. It works. Anyway, but like, I only worked for a year and I was paying my rent and I was paying my utilities and I had to get furniture because I literally moved here and only had a futon and like 2 side tables that I took from my parents' basement. Like, that was my furniture. So now I have a desk, I have the PC, I have my dresser, my bookshelf, like my bed. I didn't even have a bed when I moved here. So I worked that job for a year and then got laid off. And I wasn't able to build up enough savings that I could realistically like live for months on end. Like, I know the advice. Have, you know, 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. I'm fully aware of that. I know that's what you're supposed to have. But I can't build 3 months of emergency savings while also buying an apartment worth of furniture and living in an apartment for a year. Like, don't get me wrong, I live fairly cheap with the exception of like a couple bigger purchases a year. Which last year I had the scuba trip, I had the motorcycle at the beginning of this year, and I have the one collectible F1 car. Past that, I haven't made any like really big purchases outside of like furniture for my apartment. Like, I realistically am only living on about 50 to 60% of what I was making at my last job. And I, you know, maybe if I didn't do the scuba trip, I didn't get the motorcycle, I didn't get the collectible, I could maybe have 3 months of emergency savings. But that would have had me living a no frills, no fun lifestyle. And I couldn't get behind that. So my financial advice, save what you can, but spend it on shit you're going to enjoy. Because there's no point on sitting on a bank account telling yourself it's for an emergency if that's the only thing you ever do. Like, don't get me wrong, you need extra money and you need to be able to afford, like, if your car breaks down or if you, like, suddenly need to, you know, buy a new bed because you broke the bed frame because you were jumping up and down one night. Like, you need to have some extra form of savings, but, like, you don't need to be sitting on tens of thousands of dollars in your bank account. Spend that shit. Go have fun. I bought a motorcycle. I went to the Bahamas for a scuba trip. I bought a collectible item. Like, those 3 purchases alone are going to hold me over and keep me entertained and feel like I'm living a much more full and like lavish lifestyle, despite the fact I live in a shitty 1-bedroom apartment in basically the cornfields and never go out like on Friday evenings. I don't go to bars. I don't do any of that social part. So I don't know. That's my rant. If you're gonna spend money, make sure you spend it responsibly and you aren't spending everything. But what do I know? not the jumping on the bed lore. No, when I moved here, I literally did not have a bed. I had a futon that I got as a senior in high school, right before I moved into college, like as a freshman. We found a like my parents and I do not think it was ever used, but it was a used futon at an estate sale. So we bought it for like $50, maybe $60. And that was my bed whenever I wasn't in college and I was at home at my parents' house. It moved every 3 months with me. It got used and abused while we were in college because anytime we had like guests or friends come over for the night, they were using it. So like that is, now it looks like a futon that survived a college house. When we first bought it, it looked like it had never been used. That was my bed when I first moved here. And like a futon mattress is only like this thick, brand new. It felt like you were sleeping on something like this big. Like it felt like you just rolled out a yoga mat across a metal frame and that was your mattress. So I had such bad back issues. And I was so uncomfortable when I first moved here that I ended up finding like a recliner, like love seat, so that like it's the two reclining bits like on a couch. And then there's like a center console that you can like plug your phone in. There's cup holders, cool stuff like that. But we found it was like a unable to deliver to the customer like discount deal thing. So it was like $100 or like $110. Would have been like brand new in perfect condition. It would have been like $400 or $500. So we got it for like dirt cheap. And I just started using that as my bed until eventually I could afford a bed frame and a mattress. And then I got the dresser and the side table first and then the bookshelf. Eventually I got the mattress, I got the desk, I've eventually managed to upgrade to the PC. Like that's all spending I don't have to worry about now. Like I can afford this lifestyle. I cannot afford the sun to not come up. Can the sun come up? I need the sun. I'm down to 92 out of 300 power, which is kind of an inconvenience. That's a nice deal. Yeah, like obviously if I spend money, I tend to spend money on nicer things. And I tend to get like not the cheapest version if I choose like I need to spend money on something. With very few exceptions. If I happen to find a deal, I'm going to jump on it. I'm not going to be like, I don't want the one on sale because that just means it's worth less. Like, no. I am wholeheartedly looking for deals, but at the same time, I also can't be bothered to not buy cheap stuff for the sake of it being cheap. Okay. Hopefully if I build one more of these, it'll have enough juice to be able to last the entire night. Yeah, I want to say all said and done. So desk was about 200, dresser was maybe 400, bookcase was about 200, so that's 800, side table was another 150. The bed frame was like $100. The mattress, despite the fact it took like 2.5 months to show up, which some of you guys know that story, it was only like $300, and it's a fairly nice like queen size pillow top mattress. I just got like basic like sheets. I didn't get anything too fancy. I still don't have an actual like dining room table. It's like a card table and some folding chairs, but I only sit at it to eat meals. No one else is ever here, so why does it matter? This chair, which I did spend more than I probably should have on a chair, but you know, I wanted the gamer chair because I'm used to sitting in seats like this. I'm used to like a race car bucket style seat. I enjoy it. It's comfortable to me. I can sit in this chair for hours. Which I also went for like the extra large size, so like it's not cupping me and like squeezing my thighs and everything. It's a nice comfortable seat. But like all that stuff, buying exclusively cheap stuff costs more in the long run when you have to replace it. Yeah, so like typically the advice I go by is get the cheap stuff first if you're not 100% sure what you're going to be using. So don't immediately go and buy the $3,000 gaming PC like I currently have. Get yourself a basic but good enough laptop for like $300-$400. You might be able to find one for even cheaper, but like that's a very modest price for a laptop that can run basic games. You're not going to be getting crazy FPS in the games, but it'll at least get your foot in the door. If you decide you don't like the games, you have a laptop that isn't purpose built for gaming, so it's not going to be completely overpowered for just scrolling the internet and running like YouTube, Netflix, stuff like that. Once you beat that thing to hell and back and it starts to become so old that like it's not working anymore, then you can upgrade. Especially like tools for like working on cars and stuff. Like you don't know how often you're going to use all of this stuff. So if you buy the cheap stuff first and then you find out that you only use a certain tool 1 or 2, 3 times and you never end up wearing out that cheap version, by all means, if you buy like a set of wrenches and then you end up using the wrenches all the time and breaks, get a nice set of wrenches at that point. I'd argue laptops are not worth the money unless you have to be mobile with it. Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends. I'm kind of thinking like if you're like in college or like a college age, it's good to have a laptop so that you can take it to class with you. You can go and like work with others a lot easier. But yeah, if you're not in college or you don't plan on having to move it all the time, you can get a basic like tower PC as well. For again, $200, $300, $400, and it would be more than powerful enough for your daily computer use that you're going to do. And it will be strong enough that you could occasionally run games. You know, you're not going to be getting like the crazy, 120 frames per second, Minecraft at max render distance. But you'll be able to do enough that you can get a taste for it and decide if that's something you're into and something you like. Or if you actually have no interest in it, you'll get to find all that stuff out. When I was in college, having a laptop was nice. Yeah. Like I have, or had, it's actually right here. I have an Asus gaming laptop that is nice and covered in stickers. And if we look, you can kind of tell from like the glare, this keyboard used and abused. This isn't like gunk that you can clean off. It is the actual plastic has started to wear out on certain keys. But this is the laptop I got when I graduated college 6 years ago. It still runs, not super well, but it runs. It has a 1040 or 1050 NVIDIA like graphics card in it, so it's able to run games, or at least it used to be able to, not so much these days. But yeah, this lasted me 6 years and hundreds if not thousands of hours. It's the laptop I started streaming on. It's the laptop I started my second YouTube channel on that I then abandoned, and now my third YouTube channel that you guys all know and love, hopefully, was started on this computer. But I have edited the vlog I edited from when I went home was all done on this computer. It runs well enough. I think it just needs a hard wipe. I think it's just clogged up and jammed up with like temp files that don't get deleted. I have a feeling if I delete all that stuff out and do like a full reset and then just download like the minimum software I need, it would do a lot better.
Oxygen.
Oh, I'm about to drown myself. Oops. I have a phone. Yeah, so when I first started on Twitch, I used the laptop. But when I first started doing my old YouTube channel that I am not going to tell you guys the name of because those videos are so bad, I would record it with my phone, which I had an older iPhone. But yeah, I would record it on my phone. I didn't have a fancy microphone or anything. I would literally just set my phone up like prop it up on like a box or something so it was roughly the height of my eyes, and I would just talk to my phone for 20-30 minutes, cut it down using a basic software that you can get for free or using like iMovie or something like that, and it worked just fine. And then once I learned how to use proper editing software and proper recording software, I started using that, which I think was part of my problem because I didn't fully understand how to use everything. I also used to use my phone to record. My first ever videos, now private or unlisted, are filmed on an old iPod Touch. Yeah, so technically I've had 3 YouTube channels over my life. There's the one that if you use the command like !YouTube, that is the most recent one. Then I had one before that I started using my phone, and then I was recording using, it'd be the camera up here that I'm not actively using because this one's just a hair older. But it's basically the same as this camera. And then I would record in OBS with a green screen behind me, and then I'd green screen in the rest of what I wanted to do while recording, because I didn't know how to do it in post and editing. So I would use OBS to green screen chroma key myself onto the background of a PowerPoint presentation, and then I would like sit there and record it and just click through it looking at myself on the screen so that I could read the PowerPoint slides. And then I would add my own commentary and stuff. The channel before that, I only ever made one video, and it was supposed to, like, the original plan for that channel was going to be like I vlog and film and just kind of put my life on the internet, and then everyone will love me. I made one video. It was like, I want to say 12 or 13 minutes long, maybe a little longer than that. I hit record on my family's like camera. It was like a proper camera. Set it up on a tripod, pointed at myself roughly, and hit record. It was like literally just like me sitting there kind of rambling to the camera. I had no way to edit that video, so I just uploaded the video as one whole cut. There was zero editing done to the thing. It was horrible. I tried to watch it back myself, and it was so bad. So bad. Do we all have defunct vlogging channels? So I had the one channel that I was originally going to be like, oh, I'm like a YouTube vlogger. I made the one video, and then
Fluid intake.
don't tell me to drink water. What is this? Twitch chat? Okay. Actually, if I just do that, it's not going to go through my resources. But yeah, it was like the one video. I hated the way it turned out. It was horrible. Oh, and now I gotta hydrate myself, IRL too. Okay, I'll try and do this while holding a cat. I can get this open. But yeah, after that one video, I told myself I was gonna keep making videos. Never did. I still have that original video. Don't drink my water. You have your own water you can go drink. Okay, let's get this tightened down. Yeah, okay. Why are you acting like a corpse? Like this looks like I'm holding a dead cat. Could you pick your head up? Welcome back, Sammy. Give the cats treats. Do you deserve treats? Will you look like you're alive if I do that? Okay, come here. First off, you already need to back up. I don't know how you managed to get to that so fast. Oh, I grabbed 4 right away. Can you guys tell he's freaking out and really excited? Alright. Come here, buddy. It's treat time. Just chatting so you guys can see this in all of its glory. Hey. No, look up here. There you go. A little snacky. I'll tip you down a bit too, just to help. Hey, no freaking out. Hey, you want another one? Yeah, delicious, right? How could you ask that? Cat always deserves treats. Well, he has not shut up until I hit go live today for the past like 2 days straight. All right, other cat. Ugh. Luckily, she was close. Okay, Scuba, come here. Hey. You smell it? Are you gonna take it? You're just gonna lick it? No, you gotta take it out of my... No. Just bite it. Okay, fine. It's right there. You can eat it off my desk. She's a lady. She can't just chomp. She just doesn't like eating out of my hand. See, take it. No, it's still up here. Scuba, it's still in my hand. There we go. She got it. Scuba still doesn't know how to eat treats. She just doesn't like eating out of like your hand. She's shy to that concept. We're all done. Or lick my thumb. Okay. I'll just hold my thumb here for you and I can talk about how they have been nothing but problems. Okay. But yeah, these little rapscallions have decided that they are not going to shut up for any reason for the past 2 days, which my already poor sleep schedule was having a hard time managing and was not a fan of. Sorry, buddy, that's it. I got empty hands. So I was getting real sick of their shenanigans. I'm also still dipped down a decent bit. That's better. We're trying to hide the fact that I lean back at like a 45-degree angle while I sit in this chair. Ugh. So they finally decide to settle down once I hit go live, which my fear is always that they're not going to. And then, because I'm kind of locked here and trying to pay attention to all of you guys, when all they're running around, I can't watch what they're up to that closely. Like, at least if I'm not live, I don't have to worry about it too much. But it becomes such a worry for me while I'm live. So I hit go live, and everything happened to work itself out. They both immediately laid down and have not been screaming like little rat banshees. So luckily we've gotten away with it. They got some treats, which likely means they're going to be even worse going forwards. But it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine, but it'll be fine, you know? What's the worst that happens? I do need to keep an eye on them, and I did not feed them before stream, so I do need to make sure I feed them after stream. But I fed them a bit later this morning, so they should be fine. I just can't stream too late, but it's also a weekday, so I wasn't planning on going too long. So we got like another half hour or so of stream. Unless I can actually figure out what I'm supposed to be doing in Subnautica. So if any of you guys happen to know what I'm supposed to do next, that is always fair game. You can feel free to let me know. We'll get the game open back up for you all.
Signs stabilizing.
Yeah. But yeah, like when I first started my YouTube, it was literally, I hit record on a camera, I talked for, I forget exactly how long. Oh. How fun. Okay, well, now you're in my way. And yeah, I literally, no editing, just hit record, talk until I decided I was done, and moved on. I have the video because I still have access to the account. I still use that account all the time because it was my personal Gmail account that I started the YouTube channel with. So I still have that video. And I was thinking that we could use that video as a reaction. I can show the video on stream one day. But I got to figure out exactly what like milestone I want to do it on. And then like we can look at like my first YouTube video ever. We can look at some of my old like previous channels videos and how bad those were. And then we can look at like some of my newer videos and we can see the progression. I have like my old Twitch streams. We can like, I can chop one of those down from like 2 hours to like a half-hour chunk, and we can go through like one of my first Twitch streams and look at how bad it is. Like, trust me, if we want to make fun of me, I got plenty of content in the backlog that we can go and look at and pick apart, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do. I just got to come up with what goal do I do all of that at. So I know right now I'm at like 113 followers. So I was thinking maybe doing that at like 500. We go back through all of my old content and make fun of me. And then I was thinking 1,000, kind of like Callie did, doing a 24-hour stream. But obviously I got to get to, you know, 150, 200, like all those milestones first. So I'm not sure. I'd like to think I'm going to kind of pick up some, if it helps, when I reacted to my own first streams. And also when friends reacted to theirs, we just skipped through it instead of editing it down. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to actually sit there, open it up, and like cut it down. But like if I kind of just quickly click through it myself ahead of time to know like where certain parts are, which, because they're currently on that laptop, I haven't uploaded them anywhere. I have watched probably 45 minutes of one of my live streams when I first managed to get this thing turned back on before I went home. So I'm thinking that might be in the cards, because I have 5. I want to say it's my first 5. It might be like stream 1, then like 3, 4, 5, 6, or like it like definitely within my first 10 streams I have 5 of them. I don't remember if it's my actual first 5 or if I missed downloading one of them or just didn't, like, intentionally didn't download one of them, but I have 5 of them with my old overlay from when I used Twitch Studio. And I was going to make the entire bit of my channel that I have desktop goose on the screen. That was going to be my whole shtick. And I got sick of it real fast. So we dropped that and then just went to me trying to get comfortable playing games and being on stream. And then recently we finally got to get into the indie games. These VODs sound like a relic. Oh, they are a disaster and a half. I would be like bribing friends from college or like old friends from high school. Like, I will literally Venmo you $20 to sit and chat in my Twitch stream so I have someone to talk to, or I'm not going to know what to do with myself. And they always thought I was joking. And then I would actually like Venmo them, and I'm like, please hang out in my Twitch stream tonight. And then it would be like the only person in my chat. But because I don't know how closely you guys have watched me in the past, but when I don't have someone I'm actively talking to about something specific, I tend to just kind of resort to like, here's what I'm actively doing on the game, and I'm just gonna narrate it, which is not the worst habit to have. But it's also not the most engaging for new viewers. Whereas if I could, you know, tell my silly little stories and talk about some of my old content and stuff, it's much more engaging. You guys get to chat and hang out with me, and I get to, you know, embarrass myself through story times. And I think it works a lot better as content. So I would bribe my friends to like come hang out with me, so that I had something to talk to. Oh, we got more salt. Thanks. All right. Ah, it's just not enough. I need one more. There we are. Oop. And then you. To be fair, as long as you're saying something that it's engaging for someone, but I get it, it's more fun to talk about stuff than it is to just talk your way through a game. Yeah, like, I know it works, and I can get away with, like, just rambling about what I'm doing on stream, especially because, like, some people don't watch the actual stream. They'll put it on and have it on their second monitor or on a tab that they don't have open, and then they just listen in. So me being able to talk about, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, set up all these, you know, lockers here, and I'm gonna have, you know, 2 for titanium and 2 for quartz, and it works because then they can listen in, they can see what, like, they can hear what I'm doing, and if I start like freaking out or giving a more like bigger reaction, they know to click over or like glance over, and they can see what's going on, and then they get that bit of content. Or I can just start rambling about stories and talking with people like I'm currently doing, and then you guys are very engaged. People who are just listening in because they have it on a background tab or on a second monitor just get to listen to the stories and hang out as well. So, like, I know it's big to make sure you're always talking. You're not like just staring away and like sitting on your phone like waiting to see if someone sends a chat. Like, I know not to do that because I used to do that. That is something I've noticed from my first couple streams. I would literally hit go live, and then I had like the 5-minute countdown for like the starting soon screen, and then I'd flip to a just chatting screen, and then I'm like, no one's here anyway. I'm just gonna like send a couple messages to my friends on Snapchat or Discord, or like just texting old friends and be like, I'm live right now, you guys want to come say hi in my chat? And I'm like, I'd go back and look at like the VOD, and I was like, that is so bad for someone who doesn't already know me showing up, and I'm just sitting there like not saying a word, no music playing, nothing on the screen to indicate like I'm actually paying attention. I'm just sitting there like scrolling on my phone, and I'm like, so brave of you to ask your friends to come to stream. Only really close friends and like people that I knew were already like active on Twitch. So like when I, like my best friend in college, who was my roommate, occasionally will stream himself playing Overwatch when he was because he was on the Overwatch team for the school, and when they would do like scrimmages or matches, he would stream it. So like I knew he was on Twitch. He was vaguely aware of how everything worked, and I would just kind of be like, hey, I know you have an account, you mind signing in and clicking on my stream so that you have something to do? And he'd be like, okay, and he would do it. He'd occasionally send a message to make fun of me or say something stupid, because I would say something stupid, and we just kind of would bounce off each other. Or it was like my best friend from high school who I didn't have to worry about like the judgment of me trying to figure out streaming, because they were going to make fun of me regardless. I just gave them new material to do so with. That's funny. Yeah, trust me, it was not pretty my first handful of streams. I wouldn't say it was until like the start of this calendar year when I actually said, okay, I'm going to stream. The goal is 2 times a week, maybe a 3rd time a week on Saturdays. I want to get consistent with it, and I want to be regular at streaming, because up until that point it was really sporadic. And so like technically my first stream was in February of not this year, of last year. And then between February and January to start like 2023, I was very intermittent because I was finishing up college. I was at home with my parents looking for a job with horrible internet connection. I had just moved here and I was still trying to stream on a laptop that was dying. And then I finally got the PC in November, and I was like, well, I'm about to be traveling a bunch, so I don't want to start now. So then once the new year came and went, and I was ready to actually like settle in for the long haul, I was ready. I was so embarrassed I didn't tell anyone I started streaming. The only reason some of my friends found out is because they wanted to stream the Minecraft server we play together, and I had to tell them for privacy reasons. But then I got more comfortable about telling my besties. Yeah, so like I didn't tell a lot of people. I didn't tell my family that I was doing it. I didn't tell a lot of my like kind of just friends, like if they weren't my best friend, like there was probably 3 of my friends and 1 of my siblings that I told I stream. No one else. You def seem to know what you're doing now, and you have a streaming presence. Yeah, that was... Oh, it's doing a thing again. That was it felt like a really slow grind for me to like actually figure everything out. But because I feel like it also went slower because I wasn't consistent with my streaming at first. Like, I know if you look on like Sully Gnome or if you look on Twitch Tracker, you can look and see some of my old stats, and you'll see these just massive gaps where I don't stream, and then it'll be like I stream 4 or 5 times over the course of like a month, and then I don't stream again for 3 months, and then I stream like 2 or 3 times for like in like a week, and then there's a week gap, and then there's 2 or 3 more streams, and then I'm gone again. So I learned kind of how to talk to a camera, how to be comfortable like playing a game while glancing, you know, wherever you keep your chat every now and then to make sure you can spot when new stuff comes up. I learned to set up the alerts. I learned to, you know, actually have a schedule and stuff like that. And then once I was ready to actually lock it all down and put everything together, I feel like that's when it finally started to really click. So, my first stream was done late at night after my family went to bed. I didn't tell a single soul. That stream was between me and God, and the one stranger who showed up and became my first streaming friend. Yeah, my first stream was while I was in college, like away from my family. The only person I told was my best friend from high school, who was always complaining to me that I'm always like playing games and never like chatting and talking to them in the evenings. So I was like, you know what? You want to talk to me while I play a game? I'm going to hit go live. We're going to try this Twitch thing out. You come and chat with me. That way we can talk and I can play games. And that's what we did. And I want to say it was like a 2.5 hour stream, 2 hour stream. Like, it was not a long stream. I was playing creative mode Minecraft and just talking to my friend while this desktop goose was running around trying to cause chaos. Except desktop goose gets old after about half an hour. So me milking that for as long as I did was horrible. I hated every minute of it. And then I bounced around what game I would play. So I had a couple days where I was like, I'm going to do a survival Minecraft. But I didn't want to do a hardcore. But I also didn't want to do like some kind of specific challenge. So it was like, I didn't really have like a goal. It was just like a survival Minecraft. But then I also didn't care about trying to like do a survival Minecraft. So I gave it up and immediately switched like to a different game. And I was like, okay, we're going to try this one now. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. So it was like, I'd play like day 1 of a new survival Minecraft, decide I didn't feel like doing Minecraft. So then I'd play Skyrim the next day, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna do Fortnite the day after that. And there was no coordination, there was no planning, there was no warning to when I went live. It was literally just like, I go live and then immediately send messages to like the people who I knew followed me, because at that point I only had like 4 or 5 followers, and I knew who all of them were. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna message them every time I go live, and I don't need to worry about the go live notification. I don't need to worry about having a schedule. The thing is, they weren't always free when I would go live. And then it was like, okay, well, when are you free? I'll stream then. And it was like, well, that's not a convenient time for me. Dog, I am busy. Could you stay away? Thank you. And that was part of the reason I was so bad about streaming, because it was just like, I was trying to cater too hard to people who didn't actually care that much, you know? Like, obviously they're my friends, they want me to do well, and they would show up, but they weren't that committed or devoted past like, oh, that's my friend, I'll open the stream and say hello. And I had to get past being used to that and like find my own online streaming friends, which at this point, James, you're kind of you were kind of like an IRL friend that became a stream friend at this point. But you actually show up regularly, unlike some of my other friends from college who would like show up once or twice, send like 2 or 3 messages, and then never mention it again. And every time I would send them a message saying, or like a link to my stream being like, hey, I'm going live, we're gonna play this game today, they ignore it until like 3 days later when they're suddenly like, oh, sorry, man, I was busy. And I'm like, no, you weren't. I saw your Snapchat story afterwards. If you don't want to watch, that's fine. I'm just gonna stop sending you the link, and then you don't have to feel guilty about ignoring it. Like, oh well, who cares? Ghosted? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I feel that. My IRL friends don't really watch streams, so it's an honor if they drop by. But it's so out of their lifestyle. Yeah, like... Obviously, like, I went to an engineering school. I went to I did an engineering program. I lived with engineering students. Like, it's not exactly unheard of that my friend group is the gamer nerd, like, spends time online group. That said, none of us streamed or were content creators or had, like, a real online presence past... We would sometimes shitpost like memes on Twitter, or like we had a Discord of the friend group, and that was about it. Like, none of us really ever posted on TikTok or posted on like any other site, like other than like we had like Twitters and Instagrams, but like we never used them. We were fairly, you know, just keep to ourselves, you know, not worry about trying to have an online presence. And then I decided one day I'm gonna try it. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Especially because I had about a 1-year run where I was posting memes on the school subreddit, and I was quite the wanted man by school administration. And I was like, okay, so at this point, I know I can build and maintain an online presence. Maybe this time I can try building that online presence for something other than shitting on my university. So, and then right around that time is when I found out that my older of my younger brothers, who's 2 years younger than me, had been posting to TikTok and had managed to pick up like 1,000 or so followers. And I was looking at his videos and I'm like, these are quite literally shit posts. Like, you aren't not trying to like really care about like how the video does. You're just posting it because you had fun making the video. So I want to do that. So I made a TikTok, and I had probably a 6 or 7 day streak where I was posting to TikTok regularly. And then eventually I just kind of ran out of ideas and other stuff like that. But like, I made the TikTok, I started posting on the TikTok. And then while I was posting on that TikTok, I happened to like stumble into like small streamer TikTok and ended up like having a bunch of that on my For You page. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm interested in the streaming because I have a Twitch. I know what Twitch is. Like, I'm gonna see like what the smaller streamers are like, because really my only experience with Twitch at that point was like the big streamers. And I mean like the mega, like top like 0.1% streamers. And I didn't enjoy watching their streams or trying to like be in their chat or anything because they don't see your message, which is understandable. I was a theater kid, been making YouTube videos since I was in high school. My classmates that found out thought it was cool. Yeah, I mean, my first YouTube video, I was a junior in high school, I want to say. I might have been, I'm pretty sure I was a junior. Or maybe it was going into my junior year. But yeah, like, I was fairly young when I did that. But in terms of my first actual shot at content creation, wasn't until I was a sophomore in college. I got into streaming because I learned about. I used to post on TikTok all the time on my cosplay account. Yeah, I know you have 2 YouTube accounts, and I'm subscribed to both. And I don't watch all of your videos, but at a minimum, I'll put it on and let it play, and then I tend to watch the first like 5 or 6 minutes. But Mel, I mean this in the most sincere way, but like a 2-hour deep dive on something that I'm not huge on, I'm only gonna watch the first 5 to 10 minutes, but I let the video play. I don't click off. I leave it as the open, like I leave it as an open tab. I actually, let it play. At least until it stops counting me as a viewer because the tab goes to sleep. But, I'm there. But like, when I first got into like the small streamers, I finally decided to like take the bait that TikTok was throwing me. And I was like, okay, I will see what this is. And that's when I found Sid Cactus, if you know her. So I ended up hanging out in her streams, and then from her streams I met Callie, and I met Doc Brennan, and I met like a couple of the other like people within that kind of circle. And within about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I was like, fuck it, this is something I want to do. We're going for it. Especially because in the past I would stream myself playing games on Discord to my friend group. So I was like, I'm just going to do it on Twitch. And it went so bad the first several streams. It was god awful. But I've managed to find my footing at this point. No, you're so fair. I've been making some long ass stuff. Yeah, wasn't your last video like 2.5 hours? Like the last deep dive? I want to say the con vlog, when you went to MomoCon, I actually watched like 90% of that video, maybe the final like 10 minutes or so I clicked off. Just because I had to go do something else, but like, I still left it playing, I just wasn't actively watching it. But yeah, sitting there through that video, going in knowing I'm not particularly interested, made it not the most exciting. But I try to support the homies where I can. Those deep dives will always be long-winded. Well, if it's not long-winded, then it's not a deep dive, it's a shallow dive. So it's kind of a give and take. You know what you're getting yourself into by the name and the description of what you're doing. Like I try to keep my YouTube videos short. Like the longest one I've made, with the exception of my vlog, is 12 minutes. And they range from 5 minutes to 12 minutes. I still struggle to get people to watch more than 4 minutes of a video. Like my 5-minute videos, the average view duration is like 1.5 minutes, and I'm like, come on guys, it's 5 minutes. But I kind of get it once I actually, look at the video, see where they're clicking off and stuff. But then like I'll make like a 12-minute video and they'll click off at 4 minutes, and then I'll like try to figure out like where are they clicking off, why are they clicking off at this point. Can't figure it out. But I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. I had fun making the video. So we are not going to complain or be picky about it. Do I grab a battery? It's probably charged enough. Fun vlogs are so fun to watch and make. Yeah, I was watching your vlog because I was at my parents' house trying to start working on my own vlog from when I went home. And I was like, I'm curious how someone else did this kind of vlog style setup compared to how I started recording it, and I want to get an idea of how like others have done it. So I was watching some of your vlogs trying to figure out like what have you done in the past to give myself a base idea of what I might want to be doing. And then I just ended up watching most of your video. Then I was like, okay, I need to start editing my own. And I think kind of the style and the way I set my vlog up worked. I like making long ones now for algorithm, but also it'll make it easier to reach watch hours. That's the thing, I don't need watch hours. I'm at like 4,500 watch hours. So I don't need to worry about that. It's subscriber numbers I need. I've noticed regardless of length, my videos have the same percentage of retention. For the most part, yeah. I mean, most of my videos range from about 40% to about 51%. I have a couple that are lower. I think I have one or two that are higher. But yeah, like I said, I don't need to worry about watch time. It's purely gaining subscribers. So I need videos to pull views. And I cannot replicate the success I had in my early handful of videos. Because like my most viewed video has 18,000, maybe almost 19,000 at this point views. Can't recreate that. Like the video I just posted is in a very similar nature with more up-to-date information on, like, compared to one of my most successful videos. I figured it would do much better. Granted, the video's not doing bad at all. I am not complaining that the video is doing bad. It's just where I had mentally put my expectations was higher than what the video's doing. And I know at the end of the day, that's purely on me for either expecting more than would actually happen, or it's on me for not creating content to the quality I thought it was going to be. You know? On my Weeb channel, I'm only at 2.4K watch hours now. Yeah, I thought watch hours was going to be a fight and a half. And then I had, like, my first several... Bro! You want to catch these hands? Come catch these hands. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, you better run. Where was that little bubble boy? I need to breathe. Yeah, like my first video I posted, and I remember like telling James at work, I'm like, if this video gets 150 views, that will be really good. And then by the end of the first week, it was at like almost 300 views, and I was so excited. And then I posted the second video, and both of them took off. And I mean, like, started gaining like hundreds of views a day compared to like 300 views in a week. And I was like, I don't know what to do at this point. So I just kept making videos. I'm like, once a week, drop a new video, make it as best as I can, just throw it out there. And the first like 5 videos I did, I couldn't miss. I was getting thousands of views per video, and now it's all, and like I was doing amazing, and I was like, yo, like this is spectacular. I am so happy with this. And then is when I lost my job. And as hard as I tried to not, oh, ads, I'm so sorry. I've just been rambling about my first handful of videos while slashing at these guys when they come too close. But like, once I got laid off and I had more time, I was like, this is great. I can do 2 videos a week if I want. Otherwise, I can just do 1 video. No hard deal. Because that will be my kind of current plan. They're doing very well. Yeah, like even my bad performing videos compared to my sub count is great. However, my first 5 were popping off. And then I switched my content style up a little bit because I hadn't always planned to include like challenge gameplay style videos. So once I went to make the switch to actually making those videos, haven't been able to get the views I used to. Which, like, whatever, not a big deal. I knew the challenge gameplay videos were going to get less views. However, even when I go back to like, here's a, you know, tips and tricks style video, it still doesn't get anywhere near where that, you know, first batch of videos did. Which, like, whatever. I don't even have 500 subscribers. Like, who am I to really complain about that? like I have two videos that are right around the same view count. They're right around like 18, 19,000. And one of those has over 1,000 hours of watch time. The other one has gotten me like 120 subscribers and like 800 hours of watch time. So like they're pretty even on like all metrics. If I could just get another one or two videos to like do that. Hey, bastard, get out of here. Do you not see me swinging the knife? Ah! Okay. Honestly, based on your titles and thumbs, your videos that popped off seem to be high search stuff. Guides and tips, not familiar with games and their communities. Yeah, like, I know I'm using small indie games that, like, bigger accounts will create gameplay videos. Like, Jacksepticeye has played Dredge. I don't think PewDiePie did, I don't think Markiplier did, but, like, there's large accounts that have played these games. But obviously the large accounts aren't gonna be like, here's the 12 tips and trips I wish I knew. That's where I come in. And then I've also done like new game releases and like, here's my like first impressions and review. I've done like the challenge style gameplay of can I beat the game with this added extra rule. And then the other type of video is news and updates for the games. Like, hey, they announced there's a new update coming for Dredge. Here's everything you need to know to stay up to date. And like, those are the four styles of videos I have always wanted to make with this channel. And that was kind of my content plan and where I was planning to go with it. The best performing two videos is the 12 tips and tricks for Dredge and when Dredge first announced their updates. I was not the first to either of those specific categories or styles of videos with that game. And I don't have the most successful performing like tips and tricks video for Dredge. But for some reason, my update video, like here's everything you need to know about the announced updates. Somehow I have destroyed all the other competition on that video. Don't know how, but I'm not going to complain. I'm just taking it. And then Dredge just released their newest update for the photo mode and passive mode and stuff like that. So I jumped to make sure I could be one of the first. Can I not take? Oh no, there it is. Like I jumped to make sure I could be one of the first to get that like video out. And last I checked, I'm sitting at the top of the search results. So that video should continue to do well. Assuming no one else comes in and makes a far better video than me. But, you know, My friend K Penn does demos, playthroughs, and informational stuff about upcoming games, but it's tough to gain traction with new indie games. Yeah, like, I know indie gaming is fairly niche, and it's not the easiest to bring players along to new games with you. But it is possible. So if you can establish yourself through a couple like good solid picks, like say, you know, pick 3 games and all 3 of those games become rather well loved and enjoyed, then you can actually gain some traction and people will start to trust your opinion on games. But until you have that backlog and that back catalog to be able to have people like look through your videos and be like, oh, they're consistently picking good games, it's hard to convince someone to want to subscribe, because how do they know that you didn't just happen to get lucky once? They want to know that you're actually a reliable source to go to. So I just got to keep at it. It could be because your videos are shorter. A shorter informational video is likely to get to the point and not have fluff for monetization reasons, since your video has to be 8 minutes or more for mid-roll. Yeah, I mean, the majority of my videos end up right around 8 minutes, but like, I've never been on the I want to fluff this up so I can, you know, add mid-rolls. Even once I get monetized, I can add them. Have never worried about that. Because, quite frankly, I'd rather not watch that type of video myself. Like, I know I am bothered and annoyed when I see videos that like people are intentionally dragging out to an 8-minute time length. Or it used to be 10, but like whenever I would see that, it would drive me crazy. And I'm like, I know you are dragging this out to try and get to the point that you can do mid-rolls. Like, I know exactly... Why do I have this? Drop, drop, drop. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Establishing through a niche within a niche too, like games that are similar in vibes or something. I've learned niching down too hard to one series can be annoying. Yeah, that's why I have made sure I jumped to new games relatively quickly. So like I want to say it was the 6th video I posted, I switched games. And at this point I've had 3 different games that I've featured. And I have another like 30 on my radar for games that I could create videos for and I want to review and check out myself. So I know I'm not going to get myself locked in on just Dredge or just Planet of Lana. But I feel like some of my viewers almost expected that of me. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling about nothing with this YouTube channel. Like, I have a good direction of where I'm going. I just need to maintain that direction. Depends on the video for me. Most of the time I don't mind because I understand the hustle and grind. But if it's something like an apology video, yeah, okay. That's different. I'll keep the ukulele put away, I guess. But like, I was never big on when you can tell that the creator of the video is purely trying to milk the mid-rolls. Because I've seen some of those like YouTube channels where it's like, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about YouTube. And then they're like, here, let's look at... Oh. Well, that's dead, so I guess it's time to go back. And they're like, let me show you how much I make with my videos. And one, you have to remember, the teaching YouTuber, like teaching other people how to create YouTube videos is one of the highest like CPMs you can have on YouTube. Like, it is ridiculous. I want to say the CPM on some of those videos is like $25-$30 per 1,000 views. Most gaming content, you're looking at like $3 to $5 per 1,000. So it is ridiculous. YouTube tip channels are trash, exploiting the fact that everyone and their grandma wants to be a creator. Yeah, it's like those channels, and it's like you can tell they're intentionally trying to drag their video out to like 15 minutes so that they can have pre-rolls, 3 mid-rolls, and then a post-roll. And then they're like, look at how much money I make on YouTube. You could be making this much too. And I'm like, well, you are in one of the most lucrative niches in terms of CPM. Plus you are milking your audience along as hard as you can. And I'm like, I'm grateful that I learned these like 30 tips over the course of like 19 videos between 20 people. And I've managed to establish all of you guys agree that these are all the exact same like important bits of information. But it hits a point that you're not actually learning anything new. It's all clickbait, exactly. And the most basic shit that ignores actual skills. Yeah, it's not a niche that's going to die. Because there's always going to be someone that wants the quick answer for how to grow your YouTube channel fast. Also, why do I have copper in this locker? Like that niche will always have people looking for that content. But those who succeed and do well as creators are going to very quickly realize they need to get away from those like types of videos to try and learn, and just either do it through straight trial and error or find other people that you can actually trust to give like god honest reviews. Like, what did you think of this video? And someone's going to be brave enough to look you dead in the DMs and say, it was shit. Here's what you need to change. Because unless, like, you can have someone tell you a million times, you need a good title, you need an intriguing thumbnail that you can get click through, like you can get clicks on with. And I know that, but here's the thing. How do I know if my thumbnails are clickable? Am I just being distracted by the fact that I'm being distracted by that still making the water bottle filling noise? A lot of those guys sell courses and shit, and I will never touch their courses. Because the easiest way to become a millionaire is teach others to become a millionaire. That is just a factual bit of information. But like, I know you need a good title, you need a good thumbnail. Otherwise, no one's gonna watch your videos and you won't grow. How do I know if my thumbnails or titles are good? Other than just the view count and number of subscribers I gain. Like, I typically make 2 or 3 thumbnails and 2 or 3 kind of draft titles in over the course of me making my video. How do I know which one to use? And then they're like, oh, you can just like post it, and then if it's not doing well, just change it later. And I'm like, the couple times that I've bothered to change my title or change my thumbnail, nothing happens. The video keeps getting the same number of views, the click-through rate stays as low as it is, and did I make a better thumbnail? I thought I did. Turns out I didn't. They're equally bad. So, I don't know. I want to find and befriend and start networking with people who are making similar videos to me. That way we can all chat and discuss amongst ourselves. Hey, I really like that you made a video about this game. Hey, when you were doing this, tips and tricks video, it looks like you made this mistake. But, whatever. Dude, you put in way more effort for titles. I mean, my titles tend to be just kind of based off of the initial, like, I want to make a video on this topic. And then it's like, okay, how do I make that sound like the YouTuber clickbaity kind of style of, here's the video I want to make. Like, my first YouTube video I did was essentially I wanted to create like a review of like, here's what I did in the first 10 days of playing Dredge, or 10 in-game days, I should say. And I was like, well, that's not a very intriguing title. But I can tell you all the steps I did to build my boat out as I did over the course of 10 days. So what if I do the YouTuber clickbaity title and say the best way that you can build out your boat in 10 days? Okay, well, there's my title. How do I create a thumbnail for it? I don't know. Slap a couple words on a random like screenshot image from the game, or find like a wallpaper from the game. Did I not? Yep, select. There we go. And then from there, slap an arrow on it, point to the boat, boom, there's your thumbnail. Like, I'm not sitting there spending hours trying to figure out like the absolute best title or the absolute best thumbnail, because I feel like at a certain point you lose sight of what the video is about because you spent too long trying to focus on your title and thumbnail. Which is when everyone always tells you, oh, you're supposed to have your title and your thumbnail before you start the video, that way you know what they're going to be about and you're not clickbaiting. And I'm like, that's great and all, but also you can so quickly get distracted and caught up in trying to come up with a good thumbnail and title that you no longer are making the videos you want. So I don't know what to tell you. The deep dives are so easy to make titles for, at least for my personal standards of making sure you can tell what the video is based on the title. Yeah, I mean, I see some people who are like, primarily like there's like tips and tricks for like how to become a YouTuber and how to become a content creator, where their titles are so far into that, like, you have to ask a question that's going to make someone want to, you know, find the answer to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can no longer look at your title and know what the video is about. I don't, which means I don't want to click on this. You've gone too far to that end of the spectrum, so I don't know what to tell you at this point. Drives me crazy. Or like I did find, I was looking on Reddit and someone was like, what's up with the new meta? And new meta of using yellow arrows instead of red arrows. And everyone was like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, yeah, I saw one of those tips and tricks channels, like, red arrows are out. We're all using yellow arrows now. And it took like 10 minutes for someone to comment like on that post, and they're like, you know why it works? Because it's different from what everyone else is doing. If you go to those big channels of, you know, how to grow fast, they're going to give you cookie cutter kind of style advice, and then everyone's going to follow it, and then everyone looks the same. So then they can change their advice to say, you have to stand out, so do this instead. You just cut out that entire middle process and you went, oh, let me just change this one thing. Now my video suddenly stands out among the rest. So I don't know, man. That's just my gripe. Don't get me wrong. Like, now there are some like YouTube channels and stuff like that I actually really like, because not all of their videos are like that. Yellow is just a kinder color. I don't know. It's purely the fact that the arrow stands out against all the other videos with a red arrow. Because now suddenly you have a yellow one. It's something different. It's going to catch your attention. That's why the arrows worked for the longest time. And before the arrows, you would have circles. And then it became like a joke that you just slap a useless red circle on it. And then because the useless red circle was getting made fun of, they had to change it up. And that's when the red arrows came in. And now we're starting to switch to just a different color arrow. And I'm like, okay, I can follow this meta because it currently works. But at the same time, is if I just do something different enough to catch their attention, that also is going to work. And then my last video, I unintentionally used a yellow arrow. And I realized what I was doing. And I was like, you know what? I'm sticking with it. I just want to see what happens. Because originally I was going to do like just like if you've seen the thumbnail, you know there's like, I'm doing all of this based off of the screen you're looking at, like right here is the thumbnail. I have like the boat for dredge, a shark right here, a clip art of a camera. Up here it says like photo mode, and then there's an arrow pointing to the camera. I didn't like the camera I am using the clip art of happened to have like a yellowy tan kind of color scheme to it, and that worked because it stood out against the background. But then when I was trying to pick like the colors for like the text and the arrow right here, I originally was going to do red because I tend to use red for my channel. I wanted the consistency so people could recognize my content, but the red wasn't standing out enough against the background. So then I switched it to match the camera, and all the yellow just, it worked. So I was like, the yellow is just a better design choice on the latest video. Yeah, I originally was trying to use the red that I normally would, but it didn't stand out enough. So I was like, you know what? The camera's yellow. We're using the yellow. It looked great. I could show you some of the other sample ones, especially because I'm kind of done with this game at this point, because I still have not figured out what I want to do. So we're not going to fully end stream yet, but we are going to kind of end stream here, and we're going to switch off the game. So I'm going to quit out of this. Quit. It's going to stay looking for a game for a second here, just because I want to open up some of my other thumbnail ideas that I had. So we got that one. We got that one. And then the one we did right there. Okay. Let me jump in here. This is going to be the second time I'm doing this today. Boom. So here's the thumbnail I use, which I know I'm kind of covering it, but like, there it is. The yellow works well. Before this one, this was my original design. Notice the red and the blue are all kind of blending into the background. It's kind of busy. The angle and the white, and it wasn't working. So I was like, okay, I need to try something a bit different. So then I did this, which again, I know I'm kind of blocking it. I can, nope, wait, hang on. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. The red isn't standing out that much, which is when I went back and tried the yellow and added the camera, and it worked. Then if I just you're gonna get a black screen for a second while I pull up another couple. YouTube. Where's one that I've changed the thumbnail? Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't have the new one in here. Either way, I'm looking here. I'm gonna close some of these tabs just so I'm not all over the place. Yep, close this, close this. Go ahead, close down. Oh, it's struggling. It didn't want to close. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. Let me go into downloads. When did I change it? Here we are. Okay. I will now turn this back on. So this is the current thumbnail for my Dredge review video. You got the nice color here of the tentacle. I will never be the same. This gap right here is spaced out intentionally so that the video length doesn't intrude on this like text. The time slots right in. Before this one, I had this picture. I thought I liked this one. Turns out too busy, too hard to read. But you can see, Dredge changed my life, and then I switched it to I Will Never Be the Same. Little more clickbaity, not as obvious what game it is, but the title you could still see, Dredge full game review. So like, I don't know, man. Also, I'm just realizing my transparent taskbar is back. That hasn't been working in weeks. So yeah, if you happen to notice an anime hand right here, no you don't. Don't worry about it. Yeah, like I have changed some of my stuff. The stuff that I've changed, it just doesn't seem to make that big of a difference at the end of the day, I guess. I don't know. Oh well. Yeah, I'm glad you think the yellow one was a good choice, because I was a little nervous that yellow was going to be too hard to read. And when I do all of my like thumbnail creation, I do it on Canva. So like you have a little slider that you can control, and you can just like drop the size of it way down. And that's kind of how I test my like videos to see, or like the thumbnails to see like what are they actually going to look like. Because obviously when I'm looking at it on my monitor, it's like this big in front of my face. I can read everything really well. But once you shrink it down to the size it's actually going to be, especially like on a phone, you got to make sure it makes sense. So, I don't know. I feel like I've managed to get away well with it. Now, I'm going to look and see who else happens to be around. No one I'm following I haven't rated in a while. So let's check in the category. Anyone in here look exciting as potential raid targets? A lot of VTubers streaming today, which I am not opposed to. I feel like we just rated a VTuber though recently. We got an Aussie streamer. Let me check them out real fast. Oh, it's follower only. I try to avoid follower only chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll look somewhere else. Let me poke in on this one. I'm gonna just chop those for you so I can listen in. Oh, this looks like a wholesome lad. He might be farther into the game than me, but you know, it's fine. Oh, he's got a deep voice. You know what? We're committing to this. Control C. Let's queue up this raid. And I'm gonna drop the volume. Fair, I only read people I'm familiar with. I try to raid within the category at least once a week. In which case I do have to bounce around a bit and poke around and see who's live, and I don't know, it's a fun way to meet people. I've actually met some really cool streamers just raiding into them because we happen to be playing the same game. Okay, I'm trying to get my iPad set up so I'm ready. I'm gonna queue up this raid. Now, if you would like to follow me on any of my socials, you can go ahead and click any of those links. If you notice Discord is not in that link, it is because in that list, it is because I promote it separately. Discord is, oh, an ad is playing. I'm just gonna keep talking. It's fine. It's fine. You guys will come along. I didn't realize it was gonna play an ad. I am so sorry. But yeah, you can go ahead and click that bad boy. If you are following me and want to support me on the raid, you can click that message. And if you are subscribed, you can go ahead and grab this message. I don't think I can outlast the raid, so I'm just gonna say, see you all soon. Hope you stick with the raid. Sorry for ads. I forgot to snooze. Boom. All right, let me copy my own raid message. I will see you guys on Thursday. All right, bye.